just wait for is it Ronnie, right? Yeah, Ronnie, right? Just have to finish parking. Yeah, the whole ride is fairly flat.
Yes.
There's a couple little hills here and there. Not until maybe we get to Stanley Park. There's a couple of hills, but you should probably be okay with just using the gears on like the right hand side. So you just kind of leave the gear on the left and 1 and 7 or so on the right hand side. If you ever forget what bike is yours, there's a little name tag on the front. So each bike has a little name. So it's yeah, you've got the Michael Bublé here. Yeah, right there. They all have a little bike pun. I think I still need one bike name, so if you think of a good like bike pun, feel free to share. Yeah, just to give you a quick overview of what we'll do today. So, you know, Vancouver. It's a really impressive city with the bike network here, the bike infrastructure. It's really well laid out. So we're going to be pretty much like 95% all on completely separated bike lanes, the bike paths. There's only one small section in the beginning. We're riding with traffic a little bit on the road, but it really shouldn't be too bad. You know, cars will be giving us lots of space, and it shouldn't be. Cars really aren't too much of a hazard. One thing to kind of keep your eye out for, or like watch out for a little bit, is pedestrians. You know, they can kind of just march onto the crosswalks and the bike lanes. So just kind of be aware of pedestrians crossing in front of us. And especially when we're going through the beginning, when we're in the street, there's a few lights and everything. If we ever get separated, you know, just don't worry. You know, we'll all wait for you and everything. So if we get separated by a pedestrian or a light or anything, yeah, don't worry too much. We'll, you know, pedaling through a red light or something, we'll wait for you on the other side. But yeah, it should be good. What else? Yeah, it's so we'll start by like I said, going through downtown a little bit, and then we will spend the bulk of the tour in like Stanley Park. Stanley Park is, you know, it's really like the highlight of Vancouver, so it's nothing you want to skip over. So we'll spend a good amount of time in Stanley Park, and then we'll kind of come back around, you know, visit Granville Island, and work our way back into the village here. So it should be yeah, it should be a beautiful day before the weekend. So like the bike path should be pretty empty and everything, but it should be lots of fun. You got gloves. You guys came really prepared. Yeah. Once you get the sun, it should warm up a little bit. So no, fantastic. Well, anyways, before we begin, maybe we'll just do one more round of our names again, whether we're from Philippines or Germany. But why don't we start here?
I'm Ivan from Philippines.
Ivan from Philippines.
Yeah,
okay.
27 years old.
Wonderful. Welcome.
I'm Art from my son.
And same place.
I'm 65 years old.
Okay. Excellent. You don't have to say your age if you don't want to. Most welcome to. Yeah. Okay. Wonderful. From Hamburg?
Yeah, I'm living in two cities, Hamburg and Oldenburg.
Ah, okay. Oh, wonderful.
I'm Tanya from Germany.
Okay, wonderful.
I'm Matt from Germany. Matt is like Matthias or Matthew.
Oh, okay, sure.
So I said Matt.
Matt, or is it like Matthias?
It's Matthias.
Matthias. Oh, okay, sure. Wonderful.
I'm Julia from Germany, Hamburg.
Okay, yeah.
I'm Julia from Germany.
I'm Ron from Germany.
And Ron from Germany. Okay, and Ian from Canada. Yeah, that's great. So yeah, a little thing about me. Because I grew up about an hour away from here, so pretty close to the Metro Vancouver area. But I lived in the city here for about 12 or 13 years. But not so much. I actually ended up leaving for about 4 years, about 3.5 years, doing a big trip on a bicycle. So this is sort of the first time I've been back here in about, I've been back for about 6 months now, but it's sort of the first summer and fall season I've been here in a number of years. And it really is like such a, when you do a lot of traveling, you really appreciate things about your home city that you kind of took for granted. So it's, yeah, I'm really, you know, kind of excited to be back here again, settled into the summer and the fall season. It should be beautiful. So, you know, I'm excited to share you guys lots today. We'll see a lot of what Vancouver has to offer. We share some interesting history and like what I really, you know, truly love about this place. So it should be good. So anyways, if you guys are all set, we can start getting rolling. We're gonna make it first off pretty close. You want to adjust your seat or anything? There'll be a spot pretty close up here where we can make our first stop.
Before we start, I forgot to mention to everyone, my son is teaching me how to ride.
Okay, yeah. So he's, we're gonna put some training wheels
Yeah.
in case you need. No, it should be okay. We'll be taking it easy. We'll be doing the Tour de France. Okay, perfect. You guys wanna?
Daddy, hey, Daddy. Hindi, okay lang. Bike tour naman is bike tour.
Yeah, I think by the end of the tour, you're gonna know how to ride a bike like a professional. We're all gonna know how to speak German like professionals too. Learning lots today. Yeah, and it's like, is this sort of everyone's first time in Vancouver? I know you've been here
First
before.
time.
Okay. When was the last time you were here?
2019.
Oh, okay. So yeah, a few years ago. Oh, excellent. So it's probably changed slightly, or a couple minor changes since then. But yeah, we're at a big expansion right now. So yeah, if you come back in another few years, it's going to be even a lot different. It's sort of been two, to share a little bit of the history of our growth here and our expansion. It's kind of been two big events in the more recent times, which has brought a lot of expansion to Vancouver. In 1986, we had a big event. It's like the World Fair. The Expo 86 was held in Vancouver. So we'll kind of see a few things that went up for that era. This is one of them here. This is our science world. This is kind of like the heart of the Expo World Fair. And now it's kind of like a kid-friendly science museum. And our big stadium there across the water on the left, that's BC Place. This was built for the World Fair in 1986. What they did, they redid the roof for the second big event which came here. More recently, the 2010 Olympic Winter Games. That was obviously a really big event for us. So what they did, they redid the roof for the Olympic Games. That whole roof, the whole thing opens up. It's kind of like a big iris, like from the middle. It all peels back and all opens to the field inside. It was a big project. They spent over $500 million just on rebuilding the roof in that. So
It's for the roof.
was the part of me? Yeah, it's people are saying you could build a home in that often just because it rains most of the year here. It opens maybe once or twice a year, but when it does, it's pretty nice. It's pretty interesting.
What do they play?
Good question. So that would be like our football team, like Canadian football. It's very similar to American football. The BC Lions, and then our soccer team, the Vancouver Whitecaps, play in there. But honestly, it's not that popular of a stadium. Like those sports are sort of popular, but the big sport here is obviously ice hockey. So the ice hockey arena is the one beside it, the Rogers Arena, that kind of smaller one to the right. That's definitely the more popular stadium. That season's going to start pretty soon, usually the end of September. Hockey's just kind of starting back up again. So yeah, the summer with the football, soccer, yeah, it's okay. It's like 55,000 people, but it very rarely sells out. But like hockey, that'll sell out pretty much every game, and that's like 18,000 people. And even like concerts and everything, most concerts will happen at Rogers Arena. It's something they spend so much money on the stadium, but it doesn't really get used that much. Like not nearly as much as Rogers Arena. No, not really. We have a small team, but it's like I think we call them the farm team, meaning like it's the players before they go to the Major League Baseball, like the obviously the big American league. They play in this league. So we have a team here, but it's the stadium's a little bit further outside. But yeah, it's not really popular here. Canada only has one baseball team, like the Toronto Blue Jays. Toronto is kind of the bigger sports city because it has like the NBA basketball team, Toronto Raptors, baseball team, the Blue Jays hockey team. But like as far as North America sports, we kind of only have the hockey team, the Vancouver Canucks. So everyone's kind of crazy for hockey here, or most people are. But football and soccer is like. When we have a big event this year. Is the we call it the Grey Cup, and this is like the Super Bowl of Canada. So like the final match of Canadian football. That's going to happen in Vancouver this year. So that'll be a pretty big event for us. It'll happen in November here. It's crazy. Look at the moon is like shining out right now. It's really quite
close.
Yeah.
Is
it? Yeah. Absolutely. Wow. It's like you never see it like this. It's a full Venus moon. But another thing, like where we met here, because this is, we call this Olympic Village. So this is this whole community, like a big housing community. This is to build, obviously, for the Olympic Games, but this is where all the athletes are staying. So they kind of built this. They had to like build out this land and then build this, like I said, this whole housing community to house all the athletes during the 2010 Games. So like that, once we get downtown, we'll see some more things for the Olympics and the Expo. But as I said, we're kind of in a big expansion right now. Vancouver, around about 850,000 people here now. Makes us the third biggest city in Canada. But if we're including Metro Vancouver, it's like all the surrounding suburbs and districts, we're up to about 2.5 million. But this is, they actually anticipate by 2050, this number is going to be up to about 4.5 million. So we got, like I said, the next couple decades, like a lot of people coming here. And what they're doing now, we'll see, another thing we'll see is all the construction happening in this. This is obviously everything over there that's considered downtown Vancouver, but they're building like a second downtown over here now. It's going to be like a whole city skyline right on this side now. Like rebuilding a new hospital there, and just like, yeah, the whole city's going to be kind of extended to this side of the water now. So yeah, it'll be a big expansion in the next about 10 years or so. The whole project's going to be complete. But, anyways, we'll keep moving on. We're gonna we'll merge back onto this bike path, and it's gonna start taking us a little bit closer into the city here, into downtown. Oh yeah.
Sige tayo.
Calgary, right? Just kind of went through the Rockies, and then we moved up here. Oh, for the wedding, of course. Is it like a friend from Germany? Moved there? Or kind of just stayed there, or tried to stay there, or been like a Canadian. Calgary's it's a pretty interesting place. It's like, I don't know, I've been there a couple times. It's kind of weird because it's like, it's really nice weather.
Ano, daddy, okay lang sa'yo? Okay lang sa'yo?
I find it
Malamig naman eh. Malamig naman eh, so di nakakapagod.
distance, like, I want to go there. Look at these.
Yan eh, Chinatown, daddy. Chinatown.
You probably guess which area of town we're getting into now. This is our Chinatown, Vancouver's Chinatown. You know, very very important part of our city. This is the biggest Chinatown of all of Canada, and for including the United States, it's actually second biggest all in North America. So the only one bigger is actually in San Francisco. You know, very very important part of our you know, our history and our culture. Because what it is, I sort of quickly talked about the more recent events which brought a lot of expansion to Vancouver. But, you know, by far the biggest thing we ever had happen to our growth is this railway. Like once they built this railway, this connected our whole country coast to coast. To give you an idea what this did, this railway was completed in 1886, and at that time, just prior to that, 1880s, we only had about 1,000 people living here. So 1880, like population 1,000 in Vancouver. But then once that railway was built, that was a way to, getting over those Rocky Mountains, so kind of like accessing this region. It was like that combined with this gold rush. We had a lot of people from the south going up to the Yukon gold rush. They heard there's gold up in the Yukon, so like a lot of people coming through Vancouver and kind of try their luck with the gold rush. So with these two things, like the railway and the gold rush, we went from 1,000 to 100,000 in 20 years. Like really, really quick expansion. I'm just going to quickly show you a picture of this, a map of this region. This would be what we consider the Pacific Northwest. This is a map from, this would have been slightly prior to the railway being built. At British North America, we officially became Canada in 1867. United States, at this point, Mexico has their border right up to, where Oregon and California is now. But this whole light green section here, this is a really interesting thing they were doing because this was disputed territory. They actually weren't sure who was going to go to. It's either going to go to Canada or United States. So until they figured it out, they were, because prior they'd finished the border right at the Rocky Mountains. They're like, okay, we'll figure that out later on. But they were allowing, until they figured it out, they were allowing like Canadians, British, and Americans to live here, and the government were like, both countries were governing it, so like splitting responsibilities to it. That obviously doesn't work for long term, but it was kind of a short term fix. But you know, Canada was really wanting this land because it would be able to connect this country with a railway, like both oceans, like coast to coast. However, there's quite a few Americans living here because this Oregon Trail. The United States was really like pushing people to live there so they could have, you know, strength in numbers. So with these 2 points, as we know, instead of making it one or the other, they decided to cut it in half. So they're like, we'll just carry this 49th parallel like right to the water. The only exception would be Vancouver Island. So like that's where the border dips below the 49th parallel. But then like, you know, the top will be Canada, the bottom will be the United States. And I mean, this is a very, very unique and strange border because it's like I said, typically borders, you know, you're obviously like in Europe or anywhere else, it's like they're pretty respectful of, you know, mountain ranges or oceans or something, but this one, like, not at all. Like I said, they just went straight as an arrow through the Rocky Mountains, Cascade Mountain ranges. So all they did, they cut like a 6-meter section of trees, and they just did that all the way. It's still there. They have to go every 7 years to keep it clear. But it's the most unprotected, the most like wild border in the or unprotected border in the world, because that's all there's. There's no fence, there's nothing, there's no border guards. It's just like a 6-meter clearing of trees. Because I've been there a few times in a few different places. It's not really close to any roads. There's a few like hiking trails and, you know, motorbike trails that can get you there, and then all of a sudden you get to this place. It's just like, it looks like a UFO or like, you know, like crop circles. Right? It's just like clear, like 6 meters, just as far as you can see, like mountains. Just that's all it is. Just like that's the border. That's the border, that's parallel. So like I said, it was a pretty strange border that they made there. I typically, like I said, I usually have Americans on my tour, so I do have this. But it's like, if it was a little bit of different reality, it's like, this is what the map of the United States would have looked like, right? Because they would have had the whole coast up to Alaska, so Canada would have just been this, well, it's still a big country, but like kind of a smaller little country here. And then, like, the bulk of North America would all be the United States. So, you know, this was a, I do talk about this in Chinatown, because this is what developed Chinatown was this railway. Because we had, once they were going to build this railway, it was like a 10-year plan. Like, we're going to have this thing built within 10 years. And that was sort of going according to plan until they got to those Rocky Mountains. Like, you know, you guys obviously been there. It's like a pretty challenging project to, like, you know, build a railway through the Rocky Mountains. So they got there and like, this is going to take another 10, 15 years just to do this section. So we had a lot of help. We had about 8,000 Chinese workers come over to help build this section of the railway through British Columbia. And since Vancouver was the last stop, like the last terminus station, this is obviously where all the
Ganun pala talaga yun? Totoo ba yun?
Oh, gosh, yeah. But, yeah, it's like the iconic image of Vancouver here. We'll keep we'll keep moving through gas down up here. Up here, we're gonna be merging onto. It can be a bit of a busy street. There's a good space for us on the side, but obviously where I just got a single file off to the right. And then once we're done going through downtown here, we'll have our full bike lane back for the rest of the day. It's just kind of one spot here.
Bakit? Okay. Na ano ka, conscious ka. Need to stand, daddy, para maano. Okay. Okay ka lang, daddy? I mean, nahirapan ka ba pag-akit? Ayan. Okay, good. Saan? Yeah. Ha? Yung isa?
New Balance. Kasi ito kulay. Nakakuha ko ng blue.
Hindi, okay naman yung New Balance na blue. Well, ang puti talaga goes with anywhere.
Busy corner here. I was saying a lot of this corner right here. Like the rolling suitcases. That's a cruise ship traffic going into Vancouver. see, it has like a marine theme to it. I know kind of sun's shining off that building behind it. But if you look at like the crown molding on the top, there's like a really subtle marine theme. You know, like little seahorses, like tridents, seaweed, all etched in like a subtle design throughout the building. But what it is, this building, this was built in 1930, and at that time, this building held a record, or held the title. So this is not only the tallest building in Vancouver, the tallest building of our whole country, tallest building of Canada in 1930. Staggering 21 stories. Big, kind of a big deal. But you know, help you understand, help you appreciate this. I'll show you a picture of Vancouver around this time. You'll see this building a little bit easier in this picture than what it is now. You can see, like, you know, this is a picture from 1930, and now it's like times have changed a little bit, right? It's been gets kind of lost in the financial district here. If you can imagine, 1930, people are probably, you know, complaining it's blocking the view of the mountains and everything, and now it just completely gets swallowed up by the kind of in the financial district, all these big bank buildings and everything. But I do, if you guys are around downtown today, it's a commercial building, so it's only open from Monday to Friday. It's going to be closed tomorrow and Sunday. But definitely, again, if you're downtown today, to like look in the lobby in there. It's an absolutely gorgeous lobby. It's known as like the Art Deco masterpiece of Canada. It's like a gorgeous, like 1920s, 1930s Art Deco style. You have like a big marble floor, like all the zodiac signs. It's like a 2-level lobby. So they have a coffee shop in there. Anyone's kind of free to go in the lobby. It's really nice pictures inside the lobby of the Marine Building. It's just easy to miss because it gets completely lost unless you're walking right beside it. It's hard to see it. But this would be on Burrard Street here, and the next street is on West Hastings. So like I said, West Hastings is nice. It's just East Hastings. That's the one you probably want to avoid more. You can see kind of the big transition from east to west. So, anyways, what we'll do, we'll get up this busy street here. We're gonna ride in front of this convention center, this big glass building. This is another thing that went up for the Olympics here. And so we'll make a stop on the other end down there. Big bike crew here. So we'll just, like I said, we'll, if you guys want to either ride down the little ramp there, we'll just get on the other side of the street here. Get back in our bike lane. I was just saying, it's another kind of Olympic area because they built this whole new convention center for those 2010 Olympic Games. And then this to our left, this will be the Olympic cauldron, so like the Olympic torch that they built. And lit for those games. It was really nice to see. They actually lit this during the opening ceremonies of the Paris games. It's very, very rare this thing lights anymore. I remember coming across, for every hour this thing is going, it costs about $5,000 just in like the gas bill for running. Very expensive. So it only lights under very special circumstances, like the opening ceremonies and different games. But this is a huge event for us, hosting the Olympics here. Not only just for our city, but like for our whole country. Because this was the third time that Canada had hosted the games. Montreal had hosted them in the 1970s, and then Calgary had hosted them in the 1980s. You probably saw some Olympic stuff there. But during both of these Olympics, like the Montreal and the Calgary games, we set a record. We broke a record. So we were the very first and only country to host the games without winning a single gold medal. So it was like, we did it twice somehow. So it was a bit of a disappointing. We lost our ice hockey, we lost our curling, like these sports that we usually just always win. So it was very strange years, but so we had a bit of a curse on us. We're like, the third time the games are coming here, like we can't do this again. We need to at least win one gold medal. So we had, as you can said, like this pressure on us to break this curse. So I will say we did finally break this curse. We got our gold medal in the 2010 games. But it was such a successful games that by the time it was over, we actually set a record, one that we are proud of this time. So we became the host country that won the most amount of gold medals. Yeah, so it was a good turnaround. This record was previously held by Norway, and they won 14 gold medals during the Oslo Games, and Vancouver, or Canada, came up with 15 gold medals after the 2010 games. So we slightly redeemed ourselves from the two previous attempts at the Olympics. So it was, even though we're spending like $500 million on like stadium roofs, everyone was happy that we won. We set a record with the gold medals in Canada. But yeah, I'll talk a little bit about the mountains. If you guys have time, I would definitely recommend spending a day or an afternoon something in North Vancouver. North Vancouver is absolutely gorgeous. Like, as you see, like right in the mountains, like really nice nature and trails and hiking over there. So a couple ideas I can give you. The mountain's right in front of us. This is called Grouse Mountain. Grouse Mountain is absolutely gorgeous. At the peak there, they have like a grizzly bear habitat, so you can see some like grizzly bears. They have, like zip lining. They have a restaurant up there, so you can spend an afternoon or so up there. But there's two ways you can get up there. There is a gondola that takes you up there, or you can do this thing. It's called the Grouse Grind. It's about just as fun as it sounds, but it's like a set of stairs. It goes from the bottom all the way up to the top. It's about 2,800 stairs. So it's it's kind of like the Vancouver Fitness Challenge. It's like if you want to get a workout, get the exercise, you go do the Grouse Grind. It depends on your fitness level, but it's usually between like 1 and 2 hours, so like about an hour and a half, but it's pretty like relentless. It's just like climbing 2,800 stairs is like non-stop. So it's a very rewarding experience when you get up there. You get a nice view and get a cold beer or something, like see some grizzly bears. It's definitely worthwhile. Or like I said, you can take the gondola up and down. But what a lot of locals do is like you do the Grouse Grind up and then you take the gondola down. You're not allowed to walk down the trail. You probably don't want to anyways. It's pretty hard on your knees. So it's really cheap to ride the gondola one way down, but it's obviously not expensive. I think it's like $60 or $70 to ride the gondola both ways. But if you're just riding the gondola one way down, I think it's only $15. So it's like a good incentive to like get some exercise, save some money, spend some extra money on beer at the top, and then come down. So that's like I said, it's a good way to do North Vancouver. Another recommendation I can make is this place called Lynn Canyon. I'm going to probably throw a lot of information at you. I'll give you some of this information again later too, so like don't worry about trying to remember everything. But Lynn Canyon is this beautiful provincial park in North Vancouver. It's a little bit to the right there. But it's a big canyon. They have like a really nice suspension bridge, a lot of trails and like waterfalls in there. So especially since it's not raining, it's a really nice place you can spend a day or a weekend. And it's totally free. It's just like an open provincial park. Some people may have heard of the Capilano Suspension Bridge. That's like a big kind of attraction for us. I don't try to like steer people away from that. It is an incredible place, but it's pretty expensive. Same, I think it's about $60, $70 just to walk across the bridge. Yeah, so like it is what everyone says. It's like it's so expensive just for walking across a bridge, but it's really it's really cool. Like it's really interesting. So it's not like nobody's really disappointed by it, but yeah, it is really expensive. But that's really close to Grouse Mountain, so it's not like you'll be disappointed. But it's if you want to do like another maybe a little more local place, it's completely free. Lynn Canyon's nice. Like there's a big suspension bridge and everything there, so it's you get a kind of taste of North Vancouver, either Capilano's or Lynn Canyon. But Capilano, the benefit of that, it's really easy to get to. Even though it's expensive, they have a free shuttle that takes you right there, so you can just like, you know, from downtown, shuttle to Capilano, walk across the bridge, get some nice pictures, and then kind of come back all within, you know, a couple hours. Whereas Lynn Canyon, you can easily, you know, spend a nice day, like, or afternoon walking through the trails. And kind of, you know, both are good options for like either Grouse, Capilano, or Lynn Canyon, all kind of good options for North Vancouver. And yeah, another thing, it's too bad it's just a little bit cloudy. It's typically cloudy in the mountain range up there, but I'll show you a picture because it's at least it's like I'm used to trying to explain this through the clouds. But there's these two peaks. They're kind of hidden in clouds right now, but later on I'm sure they'll clear up at some point. But you know, this is a picture of this mountain range on a clear day, so it's like I don't want to do a selfie with this. But, this is this beautiful mountain range that's kind of hidden in the clouds there. But these two peaks here, these are known as the Lions Peaks. Like they're the most pronounced peaks of the whole range there. So you can kind of see them in any, you know, wherever you are in Metro Vancouver. You'll see these two very prominent peaks popping up. But this, you know, we get a lot of names from these because, like I said, they're called the Lions Peaks. It's like our football team is named after them, the BC Lions. Our bridge, we'll see it closer, but it's like the Lions Gate Bridge that connects Vancouver to West Vancouver. Maybe it's not huge in Europe, in the Philippines, but like a big film studio, like you're watching Netflix, it's like Lionsgate Studios. And this oh, if you've heard of it, yeah, this is located in North Vancouver. It's named after those Lions Peaks. Nice. A lot of people think Lionsgate Studios is located in Los Angeles or something, but it's actually here. It's they do have a location in Los Angeles now, but it did start from the original one. It's still in North Vancouver here. It is a big industry of ours, is the film industry. They do a lot of filming here. It's a lot of, they never make it look like Vancouver, but if you're from here, you're always like, oh, that's Vancouver, that's Gastown. They always make it look like California or cities in Europe, or yeah, a lot of different, as you can see, you can make Vancouver look like a lot of different places, so the film industry is really good for us here. This is what we're hearing now. This is the seaplane terminal. This is like where these seaplanes come in and going. Once we get out to Stanley Park there, we'll be able to see these things coming in. But these are, you know, probably on the weekend, like every 10-15 minutes, there's like the seaplanes coming and going. Like Vancouver, some going down to Seattle, but it's a pretty active seaport here. Yeah, good way to see the mountains and like I get right to Vancouver Island. Quick, like 25-minute flight from downtown Vancouver to downtown Victoria. So than the ferry, because you guys took the ferry, right? Or no, yeah, you guys took the ferry. It's a beautiful ferry, right? It's really nice. You get lucky, you can see like some marine life or whales or something. But oh, you did, yeah. It's a nice, ride. But yeah, if you want to think the direct lane, seaplanes are the way to go. So here's what we'll do. We're gonna we'll kind of finish going through the last little bit of downtown, and then we'll make our way into Stanley Park there. That'll be the good part of the city. Nice little private function here. Lounges and couches outside here.
Sorry. Thank you.
also.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But yeah, so what we're getting to now is this is going to be, Stanley Park. This is like the number one, the two most popular places in Vancouver. It's like the Gastown Steam Clock and Stanley Park. But I do agree, or I do believe that Stanley Park is, definitely like the most underrated thing you can do in Vancouver. Because what most people don't appreciate or don't get to experience is like really the middle of the park. It's a beautiful, it's like a seawall. All the way around the. So we'll kind of go in we'll stop at a couple of nice viewpoints. We'll visit some totem poles, and then like I said, I'll start taking you guys really into the some really fun trails and like get deep into the forest there. One of the things I'll say about Stanley Park is who this is named after. You may recognize this name if anyone's a North American hockey fan, but they play for like the Stanley Cup. So this is named after the same guy. He was the Governor General of Canada. So he lived in England obviously, but he was the Governor General of Canada. So on one of his trips, he brought this trophy over, and all the hockey teams started playing for it. It got known as the Stanley Cup. So this is like I said, the same Stanley, the Stanley Park and the Stanley Cup. This is kind of another curse that we have in Vancouver because his name was Lord Frederick Stanley. We loved him. He was came here all the time. We have a big statue of him here. He brought this trophy over. But like our team, the Vancouver Canucks, we've never won the Stanley Cup. Like we've had players from here win it, but like our team has never won the Stanley Cup. So we're still trying to. We've dealt with the Olympic curse, but the hockey curse of like not winning the Stanley Cup, it's still pending. I guess one day we'll get there. We've come very close twice, like Game 7 of the final match, but we've lost both times. So it's like riots have ensued in the city. A lot of people think Canadians are very polite and like very, very calm, but if you look at the Vancouver hockey riots of like 1994 and 2011, it's kind of a different image of how you view Canadians. But yeah, typically it's people are very diehard sports fans here with the hockey. But anyways, like I said, we'll start riding into the park here. It's nice because it's not too busy. If this was like a month ago in August, this is just like hundreds of bikes non-stop. So it's like you have to like merge onto this bike path and everything. But now like kind of the tourist season is down. It's absolutely perfect time to be able to get a lot of space in there. As soon as we start here, it's only one way on a bicycle, so you don't really have to worry too much about bikes coming head on. It kind of just stays one way in the bike path around the park. So like I said, we'll kind of ride in a little bit, stop, see some viewpoints, and then yeah, we'll get closer into the forest before we get in there.
Ha? 3. 3. Or 1. Sa kanan. Last resort mo yung sa left. Yes, sa left side.
Yeah, sorry, if you go the way, just pop over here, and then across Africa. So yeah, the big trip. I never tracked my kilometers, but I think it was somewhere around like 70,000 or something. So yeah, a lot of pedaling, a lot of bicycle. But oh yeah, we got the sun. It's really good. I got to move around this now. But this is yeah, good nice little view of the skyline from this side. And yeah, our very unique Chevron gas station. It's like working Chevron station. All the big boats and yachts. I didn't see so much waterfront properties, so much boats and yachts and marina clubs and everything. You see this little ferry coming across there? That's a good way to get to North Vancouver, especially if you're close to downtown. Because like every 15 minutes that ferry leaves from waterfront really close to downtown. It kind of crosses the Lonsdale Quay. So that's like integrated into the public transit system. You know, like bypass. You can just use it. 15 minutes puts you right to the North Vancouver. It actually puts you in a place in North Vancouver called Lonsdale Quay. Lonsdale Quay is really nice. It's really a lot of like food and craft markets, shopping, and it's really right now it's really big emerging like craft beer. A lot of like local breweries. They transformed a lot of like industrial and like railway buildings like craft breweries now. So it's a nice place to visit. And then from there you can go visit the mountains and the Lynn Canyon or Grouse Mountain right there. So it's like yeah, it is a good way to get there from downtown. And then way in the distance, we're looking east now. So that would be Burnaby, because at the city east of Burnaby, or sorry, the city east of Vancouver. So like Vancouver, Burnaby, North Vancouver, West Vancouver, and then south is Richmond, where the airport is. So like the 5 main cities that make up Metro Vancouver, all within the zone here. Yeah, I'm sure by the time we leave again, but yeah, we'll see more of the seaplanes coming in. You can see where we're standing beside that big convention center. A lot of grass on the roof. It's really integrated nature into the city. That's a very kind of common theme in Vancouver. So you've got it's like all natural grasses and plants up there. They even have a bunch of beehives that help pollinate all the flowers in the city. They recycle all the rainwater as well as naturally use the plumbing and dry. It's a very state-of-the-art green building. Those went up for the time of the Olympics. And this is like Stanley Park. What it was before it was a park. It was actually a huge. It was all a big military reserve. So, and that's when they made the decision of like, hey, we don't need this huge area for a military reserve anymore. And they're deciding what to do with it. But they did come up. They decided in 1888. They're like, let's protect this. Like we'll always keep it protected. So instead of transferring the military to development, they just decided to make it a park. It's always going to be here. So this is the only thing that's from the military that's left now. This little island here, a little military base. Run around here, but everything else is like a protected forest. So it was a really smart idea from the planners. It really makes it what it is. You see Vancouver as a kind living, outdoor, active kind of lifestyle here. Not a huge like party city or anything. If you want to go to like a party, it's like Montreal is more like nightlife and party. Vancouver's pretty cool in that sense, but here it's more like you want to wake up early, like go for a run or out to seawall or something. There's a bit of a nightlife in Vancouver, but it's not a huge party city or anything. So it's like that more health conscious, green, active city. Our two like local clothing brands kind of portrayed as like Lululemon is here and Arc'teryx is here as well. These are like kind of the Vancouver companies, kind of like outdoor hiking, trendy, I guess, clothes, expensive clothes. These are the theme of Vancouver. But yeah, what we'll do, we'll sort of in the a seaplane. Oh, here it goes right here. Yeah. Yeah, here you can see him landing right now. Yeah, he's like landing there. Oh, sure. Buildings like little narrow. I don't know if anyone saw it. It was about 2 months ago. There's a viral video, or like a video that kind of went viral. There was a collision. One of the seaplanes, when it was taking off, a boat like cut in front of it, and there's like a collision right here. Yeah, it was in June or July. These planes, they have to take off depending on the wind. It's like when the wind is blowing, they have to take off the end of it. So that's why the runway can be kind of any any direction, any size there. But all these Canadian geese, some people are they're excited to see Canadian geese. I guess you guys have all seen these type of birds before. A lot of these in Germany. Some people think they're fascinating. I guess you probably don't get a lot in the Philippines, no?
Yeah.
The Canadian geese.
No,
they don't go that far. Yeah, they kind of make their way all over North America. But this field on the weekends, maybe tomorrow there'll be a game. This is actually a cricket field. Cricket is not a big sport here at all, but they do, obviously being such a multicultural like melting pot here, they do have obviously a big like Pakistani and Indian population here. So this is the cricket field here. What we're gonna do, we'll just ride up here. There might be a couple people in there. There's a couple buses. There's a really nice display of all the totem poles here. So we'll just kind of ride up to this crosswalk, and then we'll walk our bikes in there. Yeah, we'll see these totem poles, and then I'll start taking you guys to the a little bit further.
Die starten und landen aber auch einfach wie sie wollen, oder? Da ist ja kein Power.
Mahirap. I mean, pwede, pero mahirap siya. Pero mas safe yun. Pero mahirap. Ako, yung body ko parang dito. Pero mas safe siya. Yung sa'yo.
totem poles. This would be our indigenous, our First Nations, as we call them, respectively, our art pieces. Like, really, so much more than just being an art piece. This is really how they, how they storytell and like, share their message and their story. It's all like embedded into one of these totem poles. So it'll be like a message of their history, their beliefs, or their culture. It's all like a very, every little detail, every color, every position, every order, like it's all really, really kind of key in telling or key in the telling of the story. They could make these things for a lot of different reasons. Traditionally, it would be, or typically it'd be like one totem pole, kind of like this at the entrance to kind of like welcome people and be able to analyze a lot, know about the tribe. But they could even make these for, like the one to the far right there, that's a little bit of a different style. This is actually a totem pole from the north, a tribe up in the northern BC, the Haida tribe. This would be an example of like a mortuary pole. So what would that be? They have like little cavities in there, so they could put someone's remains or like someone's ashes in there, and then kind of like erect it up. So it's like the ultimate way of honoring someone who's deceased would be like building a mortuary pole. They could even make these things to like humiliate someone. So if somebody was, if like a debt was paid, or if a debt was owed, then they could like build a totem pole to let everyone know this person owes something or owes money, and then that totem pole is like a shame pole that will stay there until this debt was paid. And finally the totem pole take down. So they said they're really, really, really into the sharing their messages and their warnings embedded into the totem poles here. If anyone has the opportunity, another recommendation I can make is our anthropology museum. This is located at the university, which I'll point out. We can see it from Stanley Park. It's not in Stanley Park, we'll be able to see it from Stanley Park, but it's honestly one of the best museums of the whole country. It's an absolutely incredible museum there, our anthropology museum. They have so many like artifacts and totem poles and history and culture there. Because as I said before, like 1880s, we only had about 1,000 people living here, so our history is pretty, as far as like modern colonization, is pretty small and recent. But you go back to the First Nations, who've been for thousands and thousands of years. It's really incredible to see their the culture and the stories that they can share. I think so it's like 1880s, we had 1,000 people and we lost everything from the fire. So like, there's nothing in Vancouver older than 1886, essentially. Going back to this fire, like the one and only building that still remains, like I said, there's only 3 buildings after that fire, but the one building that one of those 3 was the store for the sawmill, like the general store. So they actually moved it to Kitsilano. It's obviously a pretty small building, they moved it, but that's like a museum in Kitsilano. But that's the one and only building in all of Vancouver that's older than 1886. So, so I do recommend, if you have time, to visit the anthropology museum out in the university. It is a really, really impressive spot. Part of it is outside, so you can kind of like go there in the rain or shine. It's a good day to experience some culture at the anthropology museum. So what we'll do, we'll just take our bikes, we'll keep walking through here. There's going to be a toilet, like a restroom stop in about 10 minutes, if you guys are okay with that. Yeah, perfect. There is one right here, but there's going to be, like I said, another one in 5-10 minutes. You guys can wait. Okay, excellent. It's just a little bit easier to access. This one's a bit cleaner and everything. So we can get to that. Get that next one around here. Like I said, we'll just grab our bikes, we'll walk through this side. And, get back on.
Like people who would come.
Oh yeah, definitely. more left, please.
No, okay. There's a very, this is like, yeah, this is actually, there's a very, very famous
Mermaid.
like a little mermaid statue. So this is like the step of a mermaid. It's kind of like the, so it's not a mermaid. It's called the girl in the wetsuit. So it's kind of like a original idea. So we're gonna see about City Copenhagen for stealing their idea. It's like a, like I said, a very kind of Vancouver play on the famous one in Denmark, Copenhagen. But this would be the example of, you know, something in the like during the hockey playoffs. Someone would go there with like a hockey jersey on her. A lot of our art pieces get dressed up during hockey season. So this is one example there. But there's always seems to be a popular spot for seagulls to sit as well. It's always like a seagull sitting right on our top of her head there. Oh, the yellow cross. That's actually, it's sulfur. Sulfur. Yeah, exactly. Sulfur. And then the one to the left there, that's coal. So you go like sulfur and coal, you know, these kind of refineries and ship these minerals. Alberta's pretty mineral rich, so they, you know, ship a lot of these minerals out from Alberta and the train, and then process them. We got like oil over there, and then sulfur and coal. So yeah, a lot of it comes from Alberta. Over here, shipped anywhere that needs it in the across the Pacific Ocean. Well, the one thing I wanted to talk about here is this bridge. You know, this is the Lions Gate Bridge, named after those Lions Peaks that well, we didn't see, but we saw pictures of them. Usually they're clouds there. But it's a pretty interesting story how this bridge was built. What it was, this is you know, some guy had a vision, like he knew there's so much real estate potential over there. But before a bridge was built, it was just so difficult to access there. We knew it's like, oh, if we get a bridge connecting that land, that'll just be, you know, get such a good return of this real estate. So he made a bit of investment on land, and he kept pushing the city to like, oh, come on, let's build a bridge, let's go build a bridge. This is in, you know, the 1920s, 1930s. Great Depression was happening here, so the city never wanted to think about spending that much money on a bridge. But he did make it his like life's mission to get this bridge built one way or another. So he had a really, really good connection he used. This is a connection from Ireland. Perhaps you've heard of them. They're called the Guinness family, like the Guinness beer family, Guinness World Records family. He actually sold them on the idea. He's like, look, there's this golden opportunity in Canada right now, in Vancouver specifically. You know, they're selling all this land on the hillside for very, very cheap. It's like, buy a big piece of land, build a bridge, and then watch that value like completely skyrocket. So the Guinness family agreed. They actually bought 4,000 acres of land in what's known as West Vancouver. You got like North Vancouver and then West Vancouver's over there. So about 4,000 acres of land in West Vancouver, and then they financed the entire cost of the bridge to be built. So they spent, in 1930, they spent $6 million to build that bridge. And I guess even Great Depression, people are still buying Guinness beer, so they had enough money. But big project, obviously, for a family or for like a personal investment. But what they did in order to make that money back, they set up a really, really exclusive community over there. It got known as the British property. And if you wanted to cross that bridge, you weren't part of their community. You had to pay a toll. So they put a toll on that bridge. And it took them about 20 years to make that initial $6 million back from the toll. Once they made the money back, then they sold the bridge to the city of Vancouver, city of West Vancouver. And then, you know, they eventually made their money back, and they made obviously profit on the bridge. They did okay on that. However, like that real estate investment they made over there, that community they set up, that was the really like golden ticket. So like I said, they bought 4,000 acres. They spent $75,000 on the entire 4,000 acres. That's a very, very cheap price. And ever since they owned it, ever since they set up that exclusive community, that has always been like by far the most expensive real estate of the whole Metro Vancouver area. Is that British properties up there. Nowadays, it would be, you know, like a quarter of an acre lot would be in the millions for sure. Like I said, they have 4,000 acres, so they did pretty well. They were pretty good investors. I'll just show you this picture again. We've already seen this, but of this marine building again. But you know, you can see again, like behind there. Like I'm not sure exactly when this picture was taken, they're maybe either building the bridge or right before, right after. But you can see there's absolutely nothing in North Vancouver or West Vancouver. There's a tiny, tiny little like small neighborhood. They would have maybe a ferry service over there. So like everything else on the hillside is completely empty. Like there's just no way to access there. So it's like a very huge development for Vancouver. You know, that's what opened up. You know, this years later, but like that bridge will take you up around West Vancouver and up to Whistler. So like just kind of unlock that whole the whole land, the whole region up there. That is, you know, why we have that bridge, because it was built by the Guinness family, or not built by the Guinness family, but paid for by the Guinness family. But they even made another pretty smart investment while they were here. Notice they still had some money left over from like bridge and the real estate deal they made over there. They actually bought that marine building, like the tallest building in Canada at one point. This one, they bought that because they.
The artist was very wonderful. He would come here every year on her birthday, give her annuity, and hand out cakes to everybody. But she lives there now because when
Laki nung kaba. Laki nung kabayo. Kasi 3 times. Ang laki nung kabayo. Heh. Thank you so much.
Mountain on one side, sea on the other side.
This month. Ah, okay.
Yeah, just so there's not a good viewpoints and stuff. It's like driving straight. Yeah, hour and a half, 2 hours, depending on the traffic. But if anyone wants to use a quick restroom break, you got the women's over.
Ah. Basta chill lang. Ha? Oh, pati very friendly yung ano, tour guide. Wala naman. Kayo. Nasa sayo naman yun. Ha? Okay. Ay, sorry.
This is the high tide.
Oo nga.
Yeah, what we'll do, we're just gonna walk our bikes. We'll walk our. This is like a beautiful little entrance to the forest in here. There's a little bridge to get to the other side.
Excuse me. You forgot your stand.
Yeah.
Trail. Ha? Ano? Sisend ko na lang sa'yo sa Viber. Parang trail lang to sa Pilipinas kaso mas maganda to. Malinis. Maple tree.
called Beaver Lake. You know, named after resident beavers. Right in front of you, this little mound. This is actually a beaver lodge. It's like beavers will build this to live in. Common misconception is they live in a dam, but they build their dams to redirect water and catch their fish. But they figure they're build their lodges to live in. Beavers are like a lot of animals in Stanley Park. They're quite nocturnal, so it's mostly at nighttime. Yeah, I see a lot of these in the daytime. There's like you see these ducks and these canners, these blooms, like super bright colors. Very good spot for bird watching here. It's more so in the springtime. Like a lot of bald eagles will be nesting here, so you can see like bald eagles in the springtime. But yeah, again, you get lucky. But sometimes you see some bald eagles, and it's actually a lot of good bird watching. But this is this Beaver Lake is had a big impact on the ecology here recently. Well, I shouldn't say recently, but like all these lily pads that are all over this lake. These aren't like a natural native plant here. It was a gift from England when they opened the park. They gave us a little bunch of these lily pads, and they just completely spread over the whole lake. But these did have an impact because after a while, these lily pads, like the roots, they started causing a lot of erosion on the edge. So this is causing a lot of water lossage. And this is an important part of the ecology of Stanley Park, because where we were walking beside this creek here, this is a creek that salmon would use to like spawn and repopulate. So obviously with the dropping level here, the salmon are no longer to use the creek to spawn. So this is actually why they rebuilt this to kind of like help with the water level. So it is we're still kind of learning these lessons of shouldn't be throwing plant species or animals like across the globe. There is this kind of harmony in nature you need to respect. So this is one lesson or one piece of evidence of that. Just like you guys go up there. But what we're gonna do, we'll just we'll bike around the side of this lake so we get a good view of all the beautiful lake, all these lily pads and everything, and then we'll head towards there. Like I said, that's the deep forest on that side. So that'll be a nice to stop there. I just want to show you guys one thing before we get into the forest there. We'll let these guys know, but we're gonna stop just on the right-hand side. So if you guys want to, except when we're riding on this trail, just kind of stay to the right. We'll make a quick stop, and just in case anyone else comes, we'll keep a little bit of trail space open. You guys go ahead. All right. Yeah, we're gonna make another stop. So thank you.
Kahit matanda, daddy, okay, no? Kahit lolo. Diba?
Diretso tayo.
Hindi, ibig sabihin is pag mag-stop over tayo, basta right lang tayo para padaanin yung iba kung may dadaan. Pero right naman talaga tayo.
No.
I just need road to that, right?
Sanay na ako.
Yeah, exactly. It's very just more bikes coming through here. But yeah, I just wanted to take a quick stop here and show you guys this. This is a really cool example of how these trees grow here. They grow in quite a unique way. This is a very kind of rare day in September. It's pouring rain here. So usually between the months of September and May, there's so much rainfall here. So what this causes though is, because there's so much rain, there's so much water available right on the surface. These tree roots, they never have to go far to find water. There's always so much available. So this is kind of a good example of how these tree roots grow, because there's no reason for these roots to grow down to try to find water. So instead of that, they grow just down a little bit and then just spread really, really wide. It's kind of like a big pancake or something. So and then what this causes though is these trees aren't that strong. They're not really holding themselves down to the ground very good. And what happened in 2006, we had a big windstorm come through here, and just from this one storm, about 10,000 trees in Stanley Park came down. So, and this is kind of why, because a lot of mud, a lot of rain, this turns to mud, a little bit of wind, and these whole things just come toppling over. So you'll see a few around here, like these big root balls sticking in the sky. This is how we lost a lot of trees during that storm in 2006. So we will see some of these big trees on the other side here. I just wanted to go.
Try ko. Tatry ko. Ha? Okay lang naman daw sabi. Gaano ka steep.
Okay. Perfect. I'm gonna walk up. Don't feel bad if you have to. You're not gonna walk a bit of it. And everyone's a pro bike rider here. Yeah, we'll do this. See horses in the road.
Hindi, kailangan naka-ano dyan. Mahirap kasi Oo, ayun o. Huwag mo sasakyan, daddy ha. Baka mabigla ka. Huwag mo sasakyan. Mabilis yung drop. Ganda.
July or August, this is about as busy as the middle of the park gets. Like a lot of people miss out on the middle of the park. I will say I was kind of victim of this as well, like when I lived so close to this. But it's an easy thing to take for granted. It's like, oh, it's, you know, Stanley Park, it's always going to be there. I mean, granted, there's no shortage of outdoor hiking and everything in North Vancouver, but like I said, it's very, very rare you see more than like a few other people walking around in Stanley Park here. So it's a nice little nature escape, and it gives you a good, accurate representation of what this area, you know, kind of naturally looks like. However, like all these trees in here, now we're getting into the forest. These are all quite relatively young compared to what used to be here, because they'd logged this whole region. This is back in the days before they had, you know, before they had any limitations or regulations, before this word almost like conservation was thought of, so they just like extracted all the logs they could. But the main trees they're logging here with these western red cedar trees. You can kind of see them stick out once in a while here now. It's like kind of see that red, bit of a red bark on it. That'd be a western red cedar tree. There's another one behind us here, but the more dominant trees we're taking over now is the hemlock trees. But you also see these western red cedar trees stick out. So you can see like there's, you know, very straight, very tall trees, not a lot of branches on them, so it's like very, very good timber. But what we're riding on, like all these trails, these are the old logging trails they originally built to like pull the logs out of here. It's a pretty, I'll show you a picture of what this used to look like. It's a pretty interesting way they would do it for the logging industry here. But what do we have here? But yeah, this is a picture here of this, how they would do this. You know, you see they use all these oxen. And this is actually a picture of not only Stanley Park, this is a picture of downtown Vancouver in 1882. This picture was taken right where that marine building now stands. So like right in the financial district. This is what it looked like, this is what Vancouver looked like, you know, about 140 years ago. So it's changed a little bit since then. But I'll show you another picture here of how they used to do this. Of like, you know, this is the practice of pulling these logs out with oxen. Because you can see, like, in order to make it more efficient, like to lessen the friction rather than, you know, trying to drag these logs through gravel and mud, they'd build these roads of these smaller logs, and then these logs would just kind of slip easily, like effortlessly, straight on top. So with that, you could look at how many they're pulling here. It's like a good 6, 7 massive logs with like 10 oxen. So they pull these right to the sawmill.
Kaya ko. Look at that straight bozo. Ano Michelin. Kaya ko naman. Tignan mo. Bike on your left. Bike on your left. Bike on your left.
Perfect, whatever.
Hmm? Alin? Yung alin? Oh, I think so. Ah.
I'm supposed to make them because it's like
Oh, mashallah. The heck? Hmm? Huh?
Bay. Like I said, this is the sort of the main beach of Vancouver. This would be considered the sort of first beach, English Bay. Yeah, we've exited the park again at Center Park. This is the kind of the closest beach to the city, so this definitely comes to the more popular one. I mean, especially tonight, looks like it's going to be an absolutely fantastic sunset. So it's a really good spot to watch the sunset here. You can see that it kind of goes right over the horizon. As long as you kind of angle yourself so it goes between one of those big tankers, you get a really nice sunset. But yeah, especially tonight, the whole sky will probably just glow in colors. It kind of stays like this. So pretty much on any side of this park, whether it be Third Beach or English Bay, you'll see it's on a good sunset. Area gets pretty lively around 10 o'clock or so when the sun comes down. Across the water there'll be an area called Kitsilano. Kitsilano's a nice, kind of like a local neighborhood. A lot of good like kind of beach vibe. It's almost like a California kind of vibe. Vancouver. It's a really beautiful neighborhood on the south side of there. But in English Bay, there's a couple interesting buildings here. This is one of our iconic kind of hotels here, the Sylvia Hotel. It's one of the original hotels in Vancouver, being right next to the beach. You can see now it's just become a really, especially when the colors start changing. It just gets completely, go like red and then start changing like orange and yellow. Just in a couple of weeks, it'll be probably one of the most photographed buildings in Vancouver. It's absolutely stunning to change the colors of the lines on the side. But another interesting building is this one on the other side of the street here. This is called the Place. What it was is the architect of these buildings wanted to honor his parents. So he named after his mom, the Place. Because what it was is his mom and his dad, they were a couple of philanthropists. So they donated a lot of money to help a lot of underdeveloped countries with free medical care. So he designed this building with an image of the big medical syringe coming out the front, like a big needle, as you can see. You don't go off the straight to the side, it's like a funnel or sidle, but that's a big medical syringe. So you can see at the very top, it starts like a plunger, and it goes, the cylinder, like a glass, all the way down to like a needle pointing right to the ground. So it's kind of a great design on a building. This is, perhaps something that didn't age very well, the use of like opioids in East Vancouver, but at its core, it was a very beautiful message. He wanted to honor his parents' medical contribution. But the imagery of this building, so it's called injecting nature back into the earth. So it's as you can see at the very top, if you're on this side, has a big oak tree up there. So it's like a full-size oak tree where the plunger is, and it goes like concrete and glass to point right in the ground. But this imagery, like injecting nature back into the earth, it's a very that's written into the building code where like that tree always needs to be preserved. It always needs to be there. So it's like if you buy the penthouse and you just chop it down and put a jacuzzi or something up there, like that tree always needs to be there. But what happened was about 10 years ago now, that tree at the top, it actually died. So with that, they had to replace the whole tree with another full-size oak tree. Yeah, it was a pretty big project, as you can imagine. So they had to, get the old dead tree out of there, then to transplant all the soil, and then you had to dig out a bigger cavity to hoist out the full-size tree and plop it in there. So I believe the total cost of that was over $500,000, about like $500,000 just to replace that tree at the bottom. And this is a residential building, so it's the cost was covered by the city. Every owner of that building would have to split that cost to replace that tree. So it was a pretty expensive year to live in that building. But it is sort of the iconic building on English Bay. And even like I said, it's really honoring medical contribution and nature as well, because the height of that tree is that's a good representation of the trees that were once on English Bay before they developed it. Like that's how tall some of the trees were in this forest. You kind of have to appreciate, this whole region was a big rainforest here. So it's it's a beautiful area. We'll kind of pedal through a little bit of English Bay here. We consider like a West End. Weekends you have like community markets, farmers market here, a lot of big restaurants, cafes, it's really kind of authentic local place. On the other side of Stanley Park, close to that Olympic cauldron and everything, Olympic torch. Those are some beautiful buildings we're riding beside, but not much of a neighborhood kind of community vibe. A lot of those are, investment properties or vacation homes. But this part of Vancouver, like the West End and English Bay, this is where a lot of locals will live. So we'll ride through English Bay. We have some next beach, Sunset Beach. down here, we're going to look up on this little ferry boat. These things come every 5 minutes. We might not get on the next one, but the following one should be around very shortly. While we're here, I just want to point out this building here. You see this big, interesting, it almost looks like a Tetris or Jenga looking building here. Just take a quick mental picture of it. I'm going to talk about it a little bit later. We're going to see it again. It's going to look very, very different from the other side. So this is why you're going to notice it from this side. It's got a very interesting architectural design to it. But, yeah, I'll
Going down a bit.
We don't want to be in the front.
All right, wonderful. I just want to do is anyone want to use the, did anyone need a restroom? Sure. Yeah, we'll just go up, we'll just put our bikes, we'll walk up there, yeah. Anyone wants to do the, we're going to be back in probably about 20 minutes or so. 25 minutes. even on the concrete trucks, they did some murals. So you have like, some of them are like vegetables, you have like a rolling thing of corn or like asparagus or something. But yeah, it's like that's still a big industry in Gravel Island. Because this used to be all obviously like industrial and like the market, the shipyard there. They sort of transformed that to a lot of the like the indoor market, the food market. But yeah, they still have the operating concrete factory. I think they took over the Deliver a few years ago, but it used to be something else. Yeah, so it gets really busy on weekdays with concrete trucks coming in here.
Concrete.
So we'll turn around, we'll head back here, we'll kind of get off the island, but I just wanted to yeah, there's a lot of shops like this. Gravel Island Broom Company. If you want like a broom, it's like the one and only thing they sell here is like Broom Company. But yeah, really pretty shopping here. So we'll just, if you guys want to go in there, we're going to head down. Movies.
Ito na yung kanina. Oh. Lapit lang pala yun, no?
Yeah, if I could just get you guys to sort of come up just so we can keep a little bit of space on the sidewalk there for people walking. But yeah, I just wanted to, now we see this building from this side. It starts to look a little bit different, right? This building, I'm pointing out from the one side of it. But let me show you a picture of this building so you really appreciate the architecture of it. Like how much weight is on the top versus how much weight is on the bottom. But this is a picture when you're looking at it from downtown. Like I said, to show how much, how much looks kind of fake or something. Looks photoshopped or something, right? Big part of the building is missing. But this is designed by one of your neighbors to the north, a Danish architect. Very famous, very world famous Danish architect, Bjorn and Ingels. But it's just built in 2020 to one of his residential building. But you'd think by looking at this building and looking at this picture, it's not really the most efficient use of space, right? Because you're missing out on all of this space here. However, this is actually very, very efficient. Because what it is, this developer, they had a property here, but there was a restriction where they had to stay 20 meters away from the bridge. So that kind of left a pretty narrow spot for them to build. But that restriction is only at the level of the bridge. So once you get above that bridge, there's no longer that restriction. So that's why it maximized that airspace above. So it's one way of dealing with this really relatively small footprint. So it starts as a small triangle and then goes to a full rectangle at the top. So very, very, very good use of using that little space that you have. So look, there's another seal coming up here. Another little seal. You can see it's kind of swimming the head up there. But one thing we kind of have to be mindful of is we're on a really big fault line for earthquake. So at some point, hopefully it won't happen today, but it's supposed to happen kind of any time in the next 200 years. But we're gonna get a really big earthquake here. We're on it's the Cascadia fault line. So it's but I mean, so you think this is not the smartest design for an earthquake, but it's pretty incredible. I have talked to honestly a couple architects who've told me it's during a big earthquake that could be one of the last buildings to fall down. Just with the advancements of architecture and regulations and everything, it's really quite impressive what you can do with the integrity of buildings now. Because it is it's pretty much a big cantilever. It's all steel cables inside of concrete walls, all on this side is holding all the weight on that one side. So it's pretty fantastic. Yeah, you wouldn't think the best design for an earthquake-prone city. But a lot of overside of the water, that's Yale Town. There's a lot of Yale Town was developed in the kind of 1980s. Just the building code and everything back then, it was probably a lot different. So I think a lot of these smaller buildings would be more prone to falling over and collapsing rather than a new modern water building like that. But it is nice to kind of give a nice, kind of unique flavor to the Vancouver skyline, because you see Yale Town is all pretty. There's a couple interesting ones, like a kind of a cruise ship, a ship on there. This one has a bit of a sail, a little bit of a curve through it. But most of Yale Town is all just kind of just glass cylinders, taking advantage of the view. A lot of waterfront property here. So it's it is kind of nice to get some nice unique buildings. That pink building, it's a big mural down the whole side. So it goes you'll see when we go further, pink and then blue and then yellow. It's kind of mural down the whole building on that side. But yeah, we can see our big science globe way in the distance there, if you can see. So we're kind of close to the home stretch here. This last little section we're riding through. This is called False Creek. As you can see, a beautiful part of town to live in. Not the cheapest part of Vancouver to live in, as you can imagine, but anyone can live here. You just need about $20 million. If you got that, then you're most welcome. But it's gorgeous, as you see, gorgeous neighborhood, right outside downtown, very, very quiet. There's not even fences here, just your front door leads right on the seawall. You'll get your fresh vegetables from Granville Island, and now it's a really nice kind of easy lifestyle here. So it's pretty nice. What are these ones here? Yes. Yeah, this is it's a little barbecue boat. Yeah, so they have a little barbecue boat. So yeah, you can rent it for an hour or so. It has a little electric motor, so you just kind of putt around and have a barbecue. They're really busy today. This is I've seen even two more over there. Maybe it's a group or something. maybe they have discounted rates because like in the summer you usually see 1 or 2, but I've seen like 3 of them out here. It's like a new business that started up in the past couple of years. It's pretty successful project. Yeah, just friends, electric motor, barbecue, have a nice day sailing around Falls Creek. So yeah, I know it's a kind of funny way to do it. You know, maybe you guys want to just turn around. Maybe we'll do another picture here. This is a nice little view of the skyline here. I'll just jump by this dog. What is it? Carpet plane. I'll get a picture of you guys on this side.
Ach nö. Das sind aber schön.
job.
Yeah, back to our picture of big giant birds here. We still have everyone a bird. We all made it. But yeah, back to Olympic Village. So yeah, that's kind of the like I said, the appetizer of all of Vancouver today. I didn't want to scare you guys off from the beginning, but we did about 20 kilometers today, so feel good. You've earned a good exactly. You earned a good cheat meal.